Alright, so we're changing the oil right now. I can't remember the last time I did this with the 65, but this is going to be some bad looking stuff, I know.
Particularly in the areas of biotechnology and biomanufacturing, and includes industries, products, services, and the workforce. Biological data means the information, including associated descriptors derived from the structure.
And I don't remember how many quarts it takes, but I know that this thing's going to fill up pretty quick, so I'm going to intervene right here. I'm going to move this back a little bit, and we're going to catch the stream right about now. We're going to move this little hot rod out of the way. So you can see I cut my little water jugs here, and I butterflied them open. And now we can just set her down. This thing was a little bit over full when I checked it. So that's probably I don't think I had any gas running in the crankcase. I don't smell gas, so I guess I overfilled it a little bit. So I don't remember how many quarts it takes, but it's either 5 or 6. Oh, and I couldn't find I run 2 quarts of gear oil in this thing, and I like to run 2050 Castrol synthetic. I could not find any Castrol synthetic in 2050. They had Mobile One 1550, so I'm putting peasant oil in my truck. So I'm putting Mobile One. Yeah, I know. I don't want to hear it. But I'll probably change the oil again pretty quick now that I got all my I got extra filters, and yeah, I couldn't even find the old filter I used to buy. I used to get the Hastings filter, but I don't know if Hastings is not in business anymore or what's going on, but I had to get an AC Delco filter. So I don't really trust those filters, AC Delco. I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut it apart when I change the oil and see what it's made of. I know there's guys on YouTube that take those filters apart and tell you the good ones and the bad ones, but I can't remember about AC Delco, but that's all I could find for the filter on this truck, and it was only like 5 something, so I got 3 of them. So like I said, my plan is to change the oil, and like I'm doing now, and then maybe a couple of weeks later, change it again to kind of clean out the oil, to clean out the motor a little bit, because I think it's been this could have been 10 years since I've changed the oil in this thing. I just keep topping it off, and I think I keep changing the filter, and this time I'm doing a complete change of the oil. Take a little better care of it, you know. Alright, so that's what we got going on right now, and we'll be taking the filter off in a second. While I'm changing the oil, I'm upgrading. I had this power wire here for the amp because I plan on putting a better system in this thing. It just needs to hit harder. But this is the wire that came with the amp. I don't know what it is. It's Tinker Toy. I didn't even look at the gauge. It's like 14, looks like. So I'm putting in this. This is 6 gauge. So I'm putting in 6 gauge, and I'm going to leave the other in there as well. And it goes up right here in this hole. That's where the fuel line used to go. So you can see this is where the fuel line goes to the fuel cell now in the bed. So I'm probably going to have to pull this grommet out and make room for this bigger wire. But this is another thing I'm doing here, is replacing the power wire. I don't know if it's going to fit in here without taking this grommet out. And now I'm going to have to see if I can pull this grommet out. This thing is pretty old.
kind of criticism has been rare inside Russia since the war began.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I'm also fighting mosquitoes. It's really a little early for mosquitoes right now, but I'm fighting them. All right, I'm gonna have to do this off camera. I'm gonna have to go get some pliers, but yeah, so I'm upgrading to 6 gauge, and I'm gonna leave this other stuff in there for now as well. I don't know, I might pull it out, but it's not gonna hurt to add to it, that's for sure. So that's what I'm doing so far. So I went ahead and left the wire that came with the kicker, PT250. Look at the size difference. So this is the wire that it came with, and I know it's only like a 100-watt amp, but it's still going to be losing power. And then this is the 6 gauge that I just installed. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. And I got it right here on the cab bolt, velcroed, and I got it along the brake line, not the fuel line, the brake line on the frame. I'm going to add a little bit more velcro here, and it's going to go all the way up to the battery. So if you're not familiar with this truck, it's got a carrier bearing right here. That was a bear to replace. That's one of the things I did, first things I did, because this whole thing was just, there's no rubber in here. It was just flopping around metal on metal on this carrier bearing. So yeah, that was a job. This whole truck has just been a job. I've had this transmission out before. Painted it fluorescent green, as you can tell. Let's see what it still looks nice and bright under there. It's okay, but yeah, that's back when I was doing everything green screen. I need to check should change my transmission fluid too. Not today. So that's the update. The oil, look how black that oil is. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm gonna treat her a little bit better. I promise. I'm gonna change the oil more often. So there we go. That's an update so far. All right, oil filter time. And I would normally do this from the standing up, so I'm not getting any oil dripping on my arm, but I'm down here and I got the video, so we'll just see what kind of mess we can make. Alright, it's dripping out right there. There we go. We didn't have too much mess there. The wind's not blowing too bad today either, so we're not getting oil splattering in our face too bad. So, like I was saying, it's been such a long time since I changed the oil on this truck that the oil filter company, Hastings, I don't know if they're in business anymore, but A-Line says that they don't carry that line anymore, or they're not in business or something. So maybe somebody could verify that in the comments. And the filter was not easy to get off of there. I almost had to do the screwdriver trick. But as you can see, the dents that I put in it with my filter wrench, it was pretty hard to get off of there. See the dents there? Got a pretty good dent there and there, and I'm using one of these style. I don't really care for them that much, but they do work. You put these on like a 1/2-inch ratchet. It's got the little belt. What I don't like about this one is that belt will slip out of this track and you got to retrack it. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to cut this filter apart one day in my spare time and see if there's any metal shavings or what kind of treats are in there from not changing the oil for so long. But yeah, this is a LF224 Hastings. This is a premium filter. Yeah. What would the other version be? The peasant version? The non-premium? The standard? Alright. So yeah. This is one thing about electric vehicles that is an advantage. Of course, you still have to change coolant in an electric vehicle. They got tons of coolant. They got tons of oil. Oh, yes, they got oil. Yep. The whole motor in all these electric engines is bathed in oil. Now, how often do you have to change that? I don't know. And you have air conditioners, so you have Freon. You have 12-volt battery still, so you got to deal with that. And I'm going to put this right here so it can be happy right there. Alright, so I'm going to go preload the filter and clean up the or I screw it on, and then we're going to put the new filter on. Alright, so I'm putting this mobile one, which I don't really care for, but they've been out of oil. I'm looking for 2050, and I'm also looking for gear oil, because I run gear oil in this motor too. And yes, I said gear oil. I run 140 weight, at least 2 quarts, but this time I'm going to just run 1550. I'm going to run 1550 to see if it knocks. This is the original motor, so I need to replace the main bearings. Right now I'm preloading this filter here so I don't have a dry start. So I'm going to give it a little bit of love here and spin her around. Let those pleats soak up that oil. There we go. So if you fill it to the top like that and then spin it around, that's good enough. And just do a little number like this. And don't forget to oil your ring around here. Give it a little bit of love around the edges too.
I've got an end of show mix scenario here, and I gotta load that up because let me see.
I might put a little bit more oil in there. It's drinking it up pretty good. So yeah, like I said, I use Castrol on everything. That one mosquito just keeps biting me. That's one thing about working out here. Mosquitoes are not happy sometimes. And it's really not eating time for them. I don't know why they're out right now. Maybe they don't know what time it is. That should be good. And yeah, like I said, I don't No Agenda Show is signing off. And this is the filter, AC Delco. I'm not sure the quality of this either, but like I said, this is kind of just a flush. I'm gonna be changing the oil again pretty soon. So this crappy oil, even though it's full synthetic, I haven't had good luck with Mobil 1. And I could tell you stories about an airplane pilot story with Mobil 1 too, that he didn't have good luck with it either. So I'm not going to run it in here too long. So it should be okay. I'll run it in here for about a week. And then I'll get this crap out of here. That'll give me time to find some castor oil. The good stuff. Because, and I know certain applications call for Mobil 1 and all that. I know. But is that just somebody paying off somebody? Or what's going on there, you know? Alright, I'm going to spin this on here, and we'll get back to putting oil in it here in a second. You're probably also wondering, why do I have 4 jack stands under here when I'm just changing the oil? But yeah, I have the big beefy ones holding the main truck, and there's tension on all these equally. And then I have these 2 smaller ones in the front. And the reason is this tire right here is about 16 years old. I don't know how old this one is. I haven't looked for a date code, but I've seen these tires just blow sitting here. Look at that. It's crack right there all the way. So yeah, I need new front tires after this. That's going to be the next thing now that I've changed the oil. I'm gonna get new front tires, maybe new front and back. If I can find some nice white walls for a decent price, that would be cool. Even though it's 65, I think their white walls were kind of phased out, but it just makes the truck look cooler, older. But yeah, so I got 4 jack stands just in case a tire blows. It doesn't trap me under the truck. So that's why I'm doing that. So like I was saying earlier, I run gear oil in this motor. This is not gear oil because I wasn't going to pay. I used to get it for like $8, the synthetic gear oil, and now it's look at that stuff. Now the gear oil is like $15, $16, $17, $18. So I'm running this Lucas. It's not the synthetic version, which was, like I said, this is just a flush. I'm not going to keep the oil in here that long. But I'm going to see if it'll run with a quart of this and this crappy Mobile One oil, which is $15.50. I'm normally running $20.50 synthetic in this thing with 2 quarts of gear oil, like 75/85 or 75/140. I can't remember. And you probably think that's crazy, but the engine has lots of slack in the bearings, a lot of clearance, so it will knock if you don't run the thicker weight oil. So we're just going to let that set there for a while. I'm going to go grab me something to drink, and I'll be right back. So I got 1 quart of Lucas in there instead of gear oil, and now I guess I could go get my funnel, but let's see if we can do this without making a big mess. I'm going to protect the custom spark plug wires there just in case we have a little bit of a spill over there. But yeah, I just don't want to go in the garage and get the funnel. So we're going to see how well this turns out. Well, I should have got the funnel. That's what I didn't want, is oil on the exhaust manifold. So, yeah, I'm gonna go get the funnel. That's what I get. So yeah, now she's gonna smoke a little bit. That's all right. Oh, and speaking of smoking, trying to get them, this stuff seems to, this dragon's blood incense seems to keep the mosquitoes away while it's burning, so that's what that's all about. If you're ever going to get a funnel, don't waste your money on the junky little ones. Get the funnels that have the caps on the end. Keeps the dirt out of the funnel, because that's what this funnel is going to do, is attract dirt and dust. You don't want that in your oil. I should have just got this thing earlier instead of making a little mess. But that's what happens. So I'm not going to put this whole, I don't know what this engine holds, I can't remember. I'm going to leave a quart out, and now I'm getting smoked out by these damn incense. Put them over here. Yeah. We'll have them burning right next to the fuel, the carburetor there. Like I said, I'm going to leave a quart out. That feels like a quart. And I'm going to fire her up let her run for a little bit, and check her. Yeah, that's the only thing that's bad about these little toxic things. If the mosquitoes don't like them, they can't be good for people. Like I said, I should have got the funnel to start with. All right, so I'm gonna fire her up. I guess I can leave the camera running and move this stuff out of the way here. I just need to take this funnel out. Don't want it hitting the top of the lifters. Set that right down in here. Hopefully that doesn't go anywhere. We really don't need to put this on there, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just thinking we got plenty of oil. I'm going to clean our dipstick here. We'll just leave our dipstick out. Even the dipstick has rust on it. It's an old truck. What do you expect? Alright, I'm going to take off my glove here so I can fire up the truck without getting oil everywhere. Is everything else clear? Oh, I never tightened up the oil filter all the way. I guess I'll do that real quick. It just needs a little bit of love, not too much. There we go. Alright, now we're going to put fire in the hole. And camera shouldn't go anywhere. Famous last words. I'm going to let that run for a while and then check the oil, and I'll be right back. So like I said, I spilled a little bit of oil on the exhaust manifold, but it kind of brings back memories. If you're not smelling oil burn on an exhaust manifold, you're not working on a vehicle, right? So anyway, yeah, like I said, look at this. I should have got right all in there. So it's okay. It'll be okay. So my rare earth magnet fell off of my camera. We're gonna stick it right there just for, oh, and yesterday, if you saw that video, if you haven't seen that video, I have floating solar panels now. They're levitating. And I got some other things I want to do back here, but that's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise for me too if I can pull it off. But, and that's the interior. You've seen that already. But yeah, I'm going to wipe off some more of this oil. When it's done smoking, I'll check the oil. And I'm going to get this crappy oil out of here. I don't like Mobil 1. There's a long story behind that, but I'm not going to keep it in here long. I'm going to find me some Castrol. You know, this supply chain shortage is real. It's a real thing. If you're working on stuff like me, you know real quick. Oh, I don't have that. I can't get that. I don't have that. I can't get that. That's all I hear all day. So when I found 3 filters for this truck, I love that. When I found 3 filters for this truck, I bought all 3. And I'll go back and get some more when they got more in stock. So, all right, I'm gonna come back and let's see, what are we gonna do next? I'll probably be working on the power wire after I check the oil, see the levels, and top it off. Another thing, don't throw these away. They make a perfect thing to fill up your carburetor. So you put gas in here and it pours straight down into the bulb perfectly. So I keep those when I buy them. So let's see if I really needed an oil change in this thing. So that was the oil, and I'd say it was a little bit over full, but that's okay. So let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Think we needed an oil change? Look at that. That's probably the worst I've seen in any one of my vehicles. Sorry, truck. But like I said, it's been a while. It's probably going to start smoking blue now. You watch. After I change the oil is when it starts smoking. But it hasn't been smoking. Look at that. Yummy. That's some good stuff there. I'd like to take that and get it analyzed. Put that on your pancakes in the morning. See how that does for you. Yeah, and it smells great too. Yeah, so I think it was time for an oil change. What do you think? Oh, help me. All right, stay right there. Yeah, I think we needed an oil change. So this thing takes about 5 quarts. So I put 1 quart of Lucas and 4 quarts of that Mobil 1 stuff, garbage. And what I'm probably gonna do next, I'm trying to take it easy today. I kind of overdid it yesterday, and I actually had a little bit of yeah, yesterday was kind of rough. I was a little dehydrated. So I ran this wire. This is a 6 gauge for my sub. This is what it came with. This wire right here. Look at the difference. Look at the two. 6 gauge. And I don't know what gauge this is. This is probably 14 or 16. Let's see. I'd have to put on my close-ups, but put some comments in the chat, and then I will somewhere in the video description update that. But yeah, I need to put a new fuse block, because this, what good is it going to have this little Tinker Toy fuse block? So I'm going to put a big boy on there that that'll pass some current, and that way we know we're at least getting the right amount of current to our amp. And I did the grounds the other day, put this bigger ground here. We already got the ground to the block, and I put another ground from the frame to the frame to the body. So we got body, battery, motor, frame, body. And I'm probably going to upgrade and put one more on this side. I'm probably going to do another ground from the frame to the body as well, because this one is a little bit on the thin side. So there we go. Oil change in the 65. I'm probably going to go test drive her here in a little bit, and we might have a little footage of that here in a second too. Alright, talking about tangenting. So when I ran this extra power wire here, I didn't have a fuse block. Well, I have an old used one that I pulled out of my Suburban. But the problem with this old used one is somebody lost one of the Allen nuts, so they put a bolt in there instead, and the back of it is missing. So this is the positive side, so it could just short out anywhere on the frame. So I took one of these old ice cream jars, drilled a couple of holes, and once I connect this to the positive side, I'll put the lid on, and it'll sit right here, and we'll have us a little fuse box here. And the same thing on this side. I don't have a distribution block that I can find, so I'm going to make my own distribution block. I drilled a hole in this ice cream jar, plastic, and I'm going to run the 6 gauge in the hole, and I'm going to cut this 14 gauge, whatever it is, and run it in there as well. And this is going to be my distribution block, this grounding lug here, and that will be inside the ice cream jar, and that's what I'm going to use for now. until I put a better system in here. So there's the update on that, and then maybe the next time I come back, I'll be cruising in the truck, or I'll probably show you the finished product here. So that's how it's going to work. Technically, I should have a fuse going back the other direction, but it'll be okay. I'll just coil this up in there like that. It's all tightened up. We'll put the lid on her there, and then I'll readjust the sub to the middle of the truck, and we'll go connect the positives back. There's our little distribution power block. Yeah, that's the way I roll. If I don't have something, I'll make it. Did the same thing with this other side. Just need to go get the lid, put the lid on it. This is it's a 100 amp fuse. That's all I had, I know. But anyway, I clean this end up. This will go on the positive side, and this will live right here. So the reason why I said I should have another fuse on the other end, because I'm gonna have this connected. I have the small wire connected to the big wire back there. So if the small wire were to short out on the cab back there, it would probably not burn out this fuse here. But either way, you never want to do that, what I did. Just don't do what I did, because I know better. All right, where's my lid? I guess this is the lid. I don't know. What do I do with the lid? I'll find it. Now we're going to take her for a little ride. Guess I need to put her in gear and emergency brake on, and pump the brake a few times. See if we can get these things out. That's one. This other one's going to be harder because all the pressure's on it now. Yeah, it's going to be rough. Might have to get a block. I got the emergency brake on. It doesn't really hold that good, and it's in gear, so we got the ability to run around and catch her if she starts rolling. There we go. These are off the bottom of 19-inch racks. They make great whatever you want to call them. All right, so there's the floating solar panels I did yesterday. I'm not going very fast. That stuff will be okay back there. So we're fixing to take a cruise.